Welcome everyone and thank you for joining me. My name is Thandin Tlapo and today we are looking at Mathematical Literacy Grade 10 Exam Guide Paper 2. Now with Paper 2, firstly we are going to look at the general information that we'll be looking at. Firstly, it will be the mark allocation and the duration of the paper, the topics and marks, the overall structure, the taxonomy levels, action verbs, type of questions, and the general tips for answering Paper 2. Now, firstly, with the mark allocation, it's still the general information together with the duration, the topic and the marks, the overall structure, taxonomy, and the action verbs. Right. Now, firstly, when we look at the mark allocation of Paper 2, firstly, we have 75 marks that will be allocated for the whole duration or the whole question paper for 1.5 hours, which is 1 hour, 30 minutes. Then the topics that will be covered or assessed on this will be the maps, measurements, as well as the probability. However, the mark allocation as per question will be the examiner's choice. With question 1, looking at the overall structure, measurements, maps and plans will be assessed, whereby now there will be mixed questions and the taxonomy level will be level 1 only. And with question 2, it's possible that the examiner might assess maps and plans, whereby the taxonomy levels that will be applied will be level 1 to level 4. With question 3, it could be measurements, and the taxonomy level that could be covered on this question would be level 1 to level 4. And with question 4 and or 5, we will have the integrated context on measurements, maps and plan, which may include income, expenditure, profit or loss, budget, cost price and selling price, where there'll be a direct link to measurement, maps and plans. And a little bit of probability could also be examined, whereby the levels that will be covered would be level 1 to level 4. Now, looking at the taxonomy levels for Paper 2, with level 1, knowing, so it could be 30% of the 75 marks that is allocated to the paper. Level 2, it will be applying routine procedures in familiar context, and it could also be 30% of the 75 marks. Level 3, applying multiple step procedures in a variety of contexts, it's 20%. And level 4, reasoning and reflecting, it could also be 20%. And explaining these taxonomy levels for level 1, whereby we talk of knowing, it will be a question whereby now it will have basic calculations, or you will recall the information, whereby questions such as what, which, when, name and label and describe could be asked. Then with level 2, applying routine procedure in familiar context, you'll have to show your understanding and use information given, where you'll have to interpret, summarize, classify, solve, or apply rules or formulas and calculate. With level 3, applying multiple steps, procedures in a variety of contexts, you'll have now to apply the information given on the question paper, and you'll have to distinguish, specify, compare, design, or give an opinion of the given context. Moving on to level 4, reasoning and reflecting. Now, in this question, it's whereby now you'll have to analyze by means of showing with your calculations. You'll have to draw a conclusion, give advice, give a reason, and the cause or the effect on that given context. Now, let us look at the action verbs. Firstly, when you analyze, it's whereby you separate, examine, and interpret. The second action verb, when you calculate, you'll have to use a numerical answer of which it will be required by means of calculations. When you classify, you'll group things based on the common characteristics. Comparing, it's a point out, or you'll have to show similarities or differences. And when you define, you'll have to show a clear meaning of that term or terminology. When you describe, you'll state in words the main things or the concept. When you determine, you'll have to calculate something or to discover the answer by showing or examining the evidence. And when you discuss, you'll consider all information and reach a conclusion. When you differentiate, you'll use the differences to qualify categories. And explaining it whereby now you'll have to make it clear or interpret and spell out the solution. We continue with action verbs. Identifying, you will name the essential characteristics whereby you'll have to pay attention, special attention on the given context. Listing, it's whereby now you'll have to write down the items or you list them down with no additional details. When you name, you'll give the name in a proper noun of something. Stating, it's whereby you'll have to write down the information without discussion. And suggestion, you'll have to offer an explanation or a solution. Now, we are going to take a quick ad break. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.